reorganize a little bit here. All right, welcome everyone. It's wonderful to see all of you today. Welcome to our 2024 graduation celebration of the William E. Boeing Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics. My name is Christy Morganson, and I am the chair of this department. I'm going to go a little ad lib here. This is my favorite event. This is awesome, and it's wonderful to see so many people here today. Graduation is a celebration of the hard work and accomplishments of your college career as you end this phase and start an exciting new one. Your A&A degree is a testament to your dedication, intellect, and ability to excel in a challenging field. Take immense pride for you now join a distinguished alumni network, making a lasting impact. Your journey does not end here. It is the beginning of a lifelong relationship with this community. We are grateful to send you off now together as you launch your aerospace careers. All right, and this is a very exciting time in aerospace. The pace of innovation and discovery in both air and space technology is accelerating rapidly. And just look at some of the remarkable advances we've witnessed lately. So just today, we had two great firsts. Boeing's Starliner arrived with NASA astronauts to the International Space Station, and the SpaceX Starship rocket launched to space and splashed down again to Earth as planned in a major milestone to reach Mars. Last year, NASA's James Webb Space Telescope began beaming back unprecedented images from the early universe, allowing us to peer farther back in time than ever before. The uncrewed Artemis 1 mission paved the way for returning humans to the lunar surface, which our alumnus Howard Hugh is leading at NASA. And a new era of commercial spaceflight took flight with multiple private companies launching orbital and suborbital space tourism missions. Closer to Earth, aviation and autonomous flight are making great strides, positioning aerospace as a key part of the solution to reducing emissions and increasing transportation efficiency. New materials, manufacturing techniques, and aircraft designs continue to push the boundaries of what's possible in aeronautics. Beyond the wonders and adventures of space exploration and air travel, space-based capabilities are vital for many aspects of modern life, from environmental monitoring and Earth observation to communications, navigation, and national security. Satellites provide global connectivity that enables our digital infrastructure and real-time intelligence. And that's why I'm honored that in a little while we will be hearing from our esteemed keynote speaker and 2024 distinguished alumnus, Lieutenant General John Shaw. John retired recently as Vice Commander of Space Operations Command for the U.S. Space Force. He has devoted his career to defending American interests through access to space capabilities. He is well known as a thought leader in space-focused strategy, security, and policy. And then, as you may know, the seniors worked very hard on their capstone projects. Capstone is our team-based design program to develop solutions for industry, our student organizations, or in-house research led by our faculty. Some of you might have watched our Capstone Film Festival. Raise your hand if you watched the film festival. If not, you can find it. It's on YouTube. Highly recommended. This past week, they presented their final design reviews, delving into the technical engineering solutions of their projects. We would now like to recognize excellence in our capstone program, starting with the film festival. For these team awards, please stand up if your team is called. So first is honorable mention for the Capstone Film Festival, and that is the Boeing Regional Airline team. Please stand up. So this team created a preliminary design of a 75-passenger regional jet for Boeing that would have 20% better fuel burn than comparable jets and would fly a minimum range of 1,500 nautical miles, running on sustainable aviation fuel. Congratulations, Boeing Regional Airline team. Next, the best in show from the Capstone Film Festival is the Fly and Swim drone sponsored by our own Limited Lab. Stand up. This team designed a dual medium amphibious drone that could maintain a flight time of at least 15 minutes and swim time of at least 20 minutes, reach an airspeed of 45 miles per hour and a swim speed of at least 3 miles per hour at a depth of up to 4 feet. Well done, Fly and Swim drone team. And the People's Choice Award goes to the Lockheed Martin Lunar E-Launch team. Please stand up. This team proposed a lunar electromagnetic launch system and built and tested a subscale launcher to launch payloads from the surface of the moon. And there was some pretty stiff competition in the Film Fest this year, so Lunar E-Launch team, very good job. And for the family and friends, again, if you haven't seen the film festival, you can check it out on the department's YouTube playlist channel. It was a lot of fun. It always is a lot of fun. And next, I will announce our 2 technical capstone team awards. The winner for innovation is Space Lab. Please stand up. This team pushed the limits of previous measurement systems for pulsed plasma thrusters with very small thrust. They were challenged with making an inverted stand for exceptional ranges that could safely operate inside a vacuum chamber with minimal metal components. The team's design pushed the limits of what a PPT thrust balance can do and laid the groundwork for a successful follow-up project. And if you're not aerospace engineers in the audience, this is an electric propulsion type of technique for small satellites. Or I guess big ones, just small thrust. Sorry, I realized that maybe a little more detail there. Sorry. And the capstone award for technical excellence is Design, Build, Fly. Please stand up. This team produced excellent work in both the use of fundamentals and the systems engineering process to successfully test a stable airplane with several flights. Their analysis and design work was followed by well-developed manufacturing plans, which resulted in a high-quality vehicle specifically designed with very small performance margins to be a strong competitor in the challenge later this year. I think it's next month, right? Yeah, okay. Good luck. They're going to Germany for this competition. Yeah. All right, so now we're going to shift to our Student Excellence Awards for Research, Teaching, and Service and award them to those selected who are graduating here today. So the Student Excellence Award for Master's Level Research goes to Matthew Nuss. Please stand up. And Matthew, actually work your way out one way or the other. You come up here for a certificate. So Matthew's master's thesis represents a monumental achievement in optimizing composite cryogenic tank design for hydrogen storage, liquid hydrogen, very cold. His outstanding work enhances manufacturing efficiency and end performance. His novel approach reduces manufacturing costs by 10%, a tremendous improvement with multi-million-dollar implications. Matthew's design will be showcased through fabrication, leveraging state-of-the-art robotics. And here we go. Oh, you did one. Congratulations. All right, the Student Excellence Award for Teaching goes to Colin Baxter. So also please work your way up here. Colin demonstrated an unwavering commitment to inclusive, impactful teaching. As a student assistant for multiple courses and lab instructor, Colin has an intuitive ability to clearly communicate complex concepts in ways that promote independent problem-solving skills. Colin goes above and beyond, dedicating extra time to ensure all students feel supported and gain hands-on mastery. His innovative student student-centered approaches embody the highest levels of teaching excellence. Congratulations. All right, and the Student Excellence Award for Service goes to Giovanni Sykes. Come on down. Okay. Giovanni's exceptional leadership as chief engineer for the UW Design Build Fly team culminated in a coveted podium finish at the prestigious AIAA competition in April. He channeled a seamless blend of professionalism and mentorship to unite and inspire the 80-member team to reach new heights. His tenure exemplified service through cultivating an inclusive community while preparing the next generation of aerospace leaders. And now it is my pleasure to recognize two faculty members for our Distinguished Faculty Award. Our graduating students selected these professors for the impact they have had on the student experience and on the community and their commitment to high academic standards. The first award goes to our affiliate assistant professor, Mickey Schmuck, whose students described as the most fun teacher who very clearly applied controls to real-life physical experiments. Mickey is not here today, but we will pass on his award to him. The next award goes to Professor Jim Hermanson. According to many students, as you heard, Professor Jim Hermanson exemplifies excellence in teaching through his passion, dedication, and genuine care for student success. He creates an engaging, supportive classroom where students feel empowered to learn deeply. His expertise is matched by his ability to inspire, providing real-world insights, and going above and beyond to ensure students gain confidence. His warm presence, enthusiasm for aerospace, and commitment to nurturing the next generation of engineers make him truly distinguished. Congratulations. As long as you're quick, you didn't let anybody else talk.
All right, let me see if I can do this in one breath. So I'd say I'm honored and I'm privileged to be able to work with all of you. It's the best part of the job, best part of being here. My quick challenge is, before you know it, you'll be senior engineers, and you'll have junior engineers coming under you. Remember what it was like to be a student, to not know things, and guide them, help them, and mentor them, just like we've tried to help all of you. So thank you very much.
All right, congratulations again, Jim. Now it is time for our speakers. So Raiden Egbert and Tim Proby, please join me on the stage. You stand here for a moment and you can just grab a seat, okay? All right, so I am proud to introduce our undergraduate speaker, Raiden Egbert. I will also mention that Raiden's older brother, Richard, is here today receiving his master's degree. Ah, twofer. So this is a really great day for the Egbert family. I am looking ahead of this. My kids are 13 and 10, so I'm kind of checking it out. Raiden has truly excelled at the UW. He was a double major in aeronautics and astronautics and in applied and computational mathematical sciences. He worked with Professor Carl Nolan and PhD student John Corey in the RAM Accelerator Lab and worked on the NASA Scalos project as his capstone. Please welcome Raiden as our undergraduate speaker.
Hey. Hi, thank you very much for the introduction. I would just like to start by saying congratulations to all of the graduates, all of my friends, classmates. I'm really proud of you all. And also, I'd like to say congratulations to all the friends and family members who are here to support the grads. I hope you're all so proud of your little rocket scientists who today are going to become big rocket scientists. So let's get a round of applause. And before I get into everything that we have to be proud of today, I'd just like to say thank you to all the friends, families, faculty, advisors, and staff who've made this all possible. Without your generous support, all the graduates here today would not be the same. I also need to thank you for hosting this celebration for us. What a lovely event, and thank you for such a great turnout. We appreciate your presence. Also, thank you for the platform, giving me the opportunity to ruin graduation for all of you, my friends, and even my brother. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'll do my best not to actually do that. But as you may have noticed, public speaking isn't exactly natural for me, so I'm going to have to ask for your forgiveness for all the words that I butcher, but I'm going to do my best. But anyway, getting back to all the things that we have to be proud of, there are a lot of them, and I've actually made a short list. So all of the homework assignments that were submitted within the last 10 minutes of the midnight deadline, because our best friend set us the answers to the hard questions at 11:30 p.m. that same day. All the exams that we passed because of generous curves and because we were looking over our friends' shoulders. All of the lab reports and projects that we got good grades on because our friends did the hard parts before we even started. And all of the lectures that we slept through daydreaming about wearing our caps and gowns and walking across this stage here today. We really do have so much to be proud of. And in all seriousness, the genuine accomplishments of the aerospace graduates today are numerous. Behind every exam that was passed, every homework assignment completed, every project and lab report that got an A, behind every lecture that we took notes through, there was a smart student who was hardworking and dedicated enough to get it done. The same hardworking students who sent their answers to the rest of us. So thank you. And in this way, I think that our class has really delivered not just for ourselves, but for each other and for our community, for our families and for our department. And I can't wait to see what you all deliver in the future for the world. I think that amongst everything that we have to celebrate today, the most important thing in our department is the collaborative community that we've fostered and generated in the last 4 years. Especially after the first 2 years here at UW, it was kind of rocky and I didn't really know what to expect getting to meet you all and build this family and this community. And I have been so pleasantly surprised, and I'm truly grateful for our family here in the aerospace department. The collaboration and friendship that we've shared is what has made our journey through college so remarkable. I have a short story that illustrates this really well, and actually it's from our dear professor, Dr. Hermanson's class. Midterm season rolled around, and like any good student does, you get handed your exam, and I start reading through the questions to look through one that I'm confident on, to put my pen to the paper. You know, you skip all the ones you don't know. And 10 minutes in, I realized I'd skipped all of them. Twice, actually. So the only thing I had down at this time was my name, and I decided from all my hard work, doing nothing for the first 10 minutes, I was going to take a break. I start looking up around the room as if that would help me to remember anything that I had ignored and slept through in lecture for the last 2 months. Sorry, Dr. Hermanson. And during this time, I make eye contact with not just one, but two of my best friends in the class. And from our bewildered expressions, we all realize that we're all in the same spot and none of us know what we're doing at all. And it's at times like these, with this community, that you're filled with this whimsical and silly confidence to start making things up. So like we like to call them, I make estimations that only make sense because my handwriting is just intentionally bad enough that you can't quite read it, but it kind of looks right. So needless to say, I didn't do very well on this exam, but because of the community and the friendship that we have, the people that I got to spend that time with, I really didn't care. This is the kind of family that we have where no matter what happens, everything has a way of working out. So today, I'd like to encourage you all to spare a little time from celebrating your numerous and wonderful accomplishments to celebrate our community, our family, our friendship, and our love for one another. Congratulations, everybody. Let's celebrate, let's party hard, let's pop champagne, and brag every chance we can get. Dogs to the moon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Raiden. It is now my pleasure to introduce the graduate student speaker, Timothy Proby. Tim is receiving his Master's of Aerospace Engineering today. He has a Bachelor of Science from the UW Department of Mechanical Engineering and has been at Blue Origin for the past 10 years. After working on the New Shepard and New Glenn projects, he is now a simulation and modeling engineer on the lunar lander. Tim, over to you.
Good evening. I considered pursuing a master's for years. My wife was the forcing function to finally submit my application. Since I was already working in aerospace, we decided to pursue the Masters of Aerospace Engineering here at UW, which is designed for students working full-time. So really, this is all her fault. The last 3 years have been the most challenging of my life. I had a tremendous support system to get through it. We all did. For some of us, it was fellow students. For some of us, it was family and friends. But for me, it was both. It's not really my master's, it's our master's. It was the 510 study group that met every Saturday, made up of Nathan, Amy, David, Nick, and Zane. It was my parents and my sister watching my son while I worked during the day. Papa. It was my wife balancing the care of my son and our sanity. It was my in-laws coming every week to watch my son while I focused on schoolwork. And most importantly, it was my son sacrificing time with his father. After working for 15 years as a structures engineer, I wanted a career change and I wanted to work in controls. Now, engineers are allergic to risk, and I'm no exception. We are conservative creatures. We're trained to be pessimistic. Our day-to-day is dreaming up the corner cases, the worst-case scenarios at the edges of the design spectrum. So I was afraid. I was afraid to go back to school, afraid to be working full-time, afraid to have my first child, afraid to change my career. But fear is okay. Fear is the opportunity to show courage in the face of a challenge we do not yet know how to solve. My message tonight, embrace fear. Take a risk. Join the startup company 3,000 miles away. Take 6 months off. Apply for that leadership position. Start a family. Do your own project. Pursue your own idea. Just take that risk. You'll make mistakes. We all do. I have throughout my career. But don't have any regrets. The last thought I'll leave you with tonight is a speech by Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society. So for those of you under the age of 30, that's a movie where Robin Williams plays an English teacher, and he is explaining a Walt Whitman poem to his students, and his words feel relevant to me tonight. You are here, that life exists and identity, that the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on and may you contribute a verse. What will your verse be? Congratulations, class of 2024, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Tim. All right, we'll now turn to our 2024 Distinguished Alumni Award winner and keynote speaker, Lieutenant General John Shaw. So if you could, come on, you could stay there if you want, or you can go sit in your seat.
I'll go sit down.
Okay, you want to be with your friends? Yeah, okay. We're very casual. All right, so John received his master's degree from ANA in 1991 and remains a devoted Husky to this day. He retired last year from the U.S. Space Force after a 33-plus years of service. During his military career in national security, space, and aerospace engineering, he commanded at the squadron, group, wing, and numbered Air Force levels. He also served as a senior policy advisor in the Office of the Secretary of Defense and is a co-chair or member of several U.S. delegations discussing space security issues with Russian and international delegations. John holds multiple academic degrees in technical and strategic management fields, including a Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical Engineering with Russian language minor from the U.S. Air Force Academy, an MS in Aeronautics and Astronautics from the University of Washington, and an MS in Organizational Management from the George Washington University. He is a noted public speaker and has delivered dozens of keynotes at various conferences and interviews to the media, including television appearances on NBC News and National Geographic Star Talk. He has also authored or co-authored many works on space-focused strategy, security, and policy. So, John, I'm honored to give you the Distinguished Alumni Award for 2024. You can't see it from here. It has a little drawing of the building of Guggenheim on there. So, all right. So, John, we are excited to hear your words of wisdom to this amazing graduating class. Stage is yours.
All right, thanks, Christy. Appreciate that. And hey, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
All right, good to have you all here. So much family here to celebrate the special moment. We have a lot of people that are well outside Earth's gravity well, way up there. Good to have you here with us. Thanks. There's oxygen bottles available to you, I think, if needed. But most importantly, congratulations to the graduates here. You have earned this day. And I'm also humbled. Thanks so much for the award. As Christy walked through, I was a graduate student here at the very beginning of my career of military service. I graduated from the U.S. Air Force Academy in 1990. Immediately got in my really super hot Pontiac Sunbird. Came out here on my honeymoon trip with my wife Tanya, and started school here the fall quarter of 1990 and graduated in 91 from the department. It could not have been a better way for me to start 33 years of service to our nation in space operations and astronautical engineering. Gave me the technical foundation I needed to carry me forward. Now, as Christy mentioned, I did retire from military service last year. I don't like to call it retirement. I like to call it commencement. Retirement sounds really, really final, like you're being taken out behind a barn and it's all over. And I still have a lot of work I want to do. But to be here at the end of at least that big phase of my life of military service and to receive this honor is extremely special to me, and I'm so humbled. Thank you so much. So I thought I would just share a little bit about what it was like when I graduated and how it's so much different and better for all of you that are now going to graduate and do some wonderful things. So there in 1991, that was an interesting time. It was at the time what I call the beginning of the second space age. You know, the first space age was the Cold War, right? It was us and the Soviet Union, and pretty much everything we did in space right up until that end of that Cold War in 1991 was national security focused. Yeah, we did this thing called a moon landing, right? That's some of you were thinking, right? Well, you know, Apollo was kind of a national security effort, folks. We were locked in this toe-to-toe ideological struggle with an adversary. And I think there's a lot of historians would agree on that point. We just did a little bit of commercial there in the 1980s. For those of you that were around back then, you remember wanting your MTV, right? That was kind of what we did for commercial space back then. But then I graduated. I graduated from the University of Washington with my master's degree in aeronautics and astronautics and ventured out into a new world, the second space age. There was no Cold War adversary. And in fact, we actually partnered with our former Cold War adversary on the civil side. We sent astronauts to the Soviet space station Mir, and then together, Russia and the United States with other allies operated the International Space Station. So we partnered. Commercial really took off in a large way, in ways that we hadn't seen in that first space age. We had what I call second-order derived space benefits from I'll just name one system, and we could talk all day about that, and that's the Global Positioning System, or GPS. So much of what our society relies on today rides on the Global Positioning System. We don't use it just to figure out where we're going, how to get to the University of Washington, or to navigate. We also use it for timing in our banking systems and in how we actually run the internet. It all runs through the Global Positioning System, but it doesn't stop there. We started using weather satellites for weather from space in ways we hadn't done before. There were so many commercial applications that really took off. And then civil space kind of changed a bit, right? That's when we just, started, we didn't do anything. We didn't go beyond low Earth orbit. From 1991 until now, we didn't go on beyond low Earth orbit. Yeah, the space shuttle was cool. The International Space Station was cool. But guys, it was right off the beach, right? We want dogs to the moon. And so, right around now, maybe just a couple years ago, I think, is where the third space age began. By the way, one of the big things we saw, and happened through most of my career in government service, was we didn't have a threat in space. We didn't face any threat to our capabilities that were providing, and increasingly every day, important services to our society. But now, we are just entering what I think is the third space age, and is going to be perhaps the most exciting yet. And that's why I think it's going to be so exciting for our graduates here today to be a part of that. Let me describe what's different. Well, now we have reusable launch vehicles that are really bringing down the cost of putting things into orbit. We have new architectures of satellites called proliferated low Earth orbit. Hundreds or even thousands of satellites in low Earth orbit that can give us communication services and many other kinds of services that we could never have done from the higher orbits of geosynchronous or even medium Earth orbit. Commercial is really picking up in a large way in that regard. From a civil perspective, yes, folks, we are going to go back to the moon. NASA is committed to doing that, and in fact, I think it's going to turn into a race before long as to who gets there first to establish a permanent settlement on the moon. Is it us, or is it China? And I think you're going to see that play out as your careers progress, as you leave here today with your degrees. And then on the national security front, things are different, folks. We actually face threats in space. It is actually why we have a United States Space Force today that I served in the last 3 years of my military career. Now, some of you may not be that familiar with Space Force. Some of you are like, is there really a Space Force? The answer is yes, we have one. It's a branch of service in the military, just like the Army and the Navy and the Marines and the Air Force. It's its own branch. What is its real purpose? I actually think its real purpose is much akin to what the Coast Guard does today. It's actually to keep things safe in a space environment that's getting increasingly crowded and congested and contested with potential threats. And how can we best do that? How can you, as graduates in aeronautics and astronautics, help our nation, our planet, in keeping space safe and secure as more and more of what we do and more of what our planet relies on moves into the space domain? I think that'll be an exciting challenge that all of you can work on in so many ways in the days ahead. So yes, we face threats, but we also face huge opportunities. And every single day that goes by, we become more and more reliant on those kinds of capabilities. I think it's going to be an exciting future and some exciting challenges and some exciting rewards for all of you as you move forward. Now, here's the part where the guest speaker talks a little bit about maybe some things the guest speaker has learned, with given all of the trips, the loops around the solar system that I've lived through here on this planet. And so I'll share a couple things. It'll start with this. During most of my commander's calls when I was serving in active duty, my first initial commander's call with the unit, I would show a chart, and it would show the expanding universe. It would in space-time. It's actually a four-dimensional chart, four-dimensional depiction on a two-dimensional chart, so not very helpful in many ways. But if you can imagine that we're looking at a depiction of the expanding universe in four-dimensional space-time. And then I would put a little arrow onto that diagram and say, you are here. And it would be this infinitesimal small dot in space-time. And that applies to all of us. A really, really, really small dot in space-time. And so I would say, what things can I take away from that can help me in life? And actually, those things have really nothing to do with astrophysics or cosmology in that expanding universe. They have to do with being human. The first is, if you think about that dot on that chart, you have to say life is pretty short. In cosmological terms, we are only here for a brief instant. So how should that guide how you live your life? Many of you probably think you're immortal, you're going to be here forever. I think it tells us that time is really the only commodity that one really has. So how are you going to spend your time? How are you going to choose to do the things that are most interesting to you in a little bit of time that you have? How are you going to help others in our society in a little bit of time that you have? Because it is so fleeting. There are many things that may happen to you in your life. Most of those will not happen, only a few. Make those few count. The second thing to take away from that diagram, that infinitesimal dot of you are here in space-time, is that it can't all be about me. You're so small in that much, much bigger cosmos. And so it's not about me. It's not about you. It's much, much more about the people that are on the journey of your life with you. So, for you graduates here, you know that there are people in your life that got you to where you are today in this earned diploma. It wasn't all about you. There are others that made it happen. Some of them are probably here and celebrating this moment with you. Some of those are on this stage. You can't thank them enough. I'm going to practice what I preach. My thesis advisor, when I was here doing my master's degree, finishing in 1991, is actually on the stage. Dr. Bogners, it's good to see you again, sir. Thank you for not giving up on that young, brash second lieutenant who thought he really knew a lot more than he really did. Thank you, sir. And I'll have to say thanks to my bride, Tanya, who's been with me on this entire journey, is here with me today. Thanks, Tanya. You can't thank them enough, folks. You can't thank them enough. The other thing, it's not all about you. It is about your fellow travelers in life. It is. I found that actually one of the best rules to live by, and this is from my military career, is 5 simple words. Be excellent to each other. If you can find 5 words in the English language that are a better rule to live by, please let me know. I've been saying this for 25 years and no one has given me 5 better words yet. Better than the golden rule, right? The golden rule is treat others like you would want to be treated. Well, what if they want to be treated like you would treat yourself? Think about them. Don't make it about you. So to be excellent to each other. Realize that every human here in this auditorium with us today, everyone has their own story. Everyone is on their own journey, and everyone has their dream. How well do you know the story and the journey and the dreams of those that are walking with you in life? So it's not about you, folks. It's about the people around you. Let that be a guidepost for you, a guide star as you go forward. I'll wrap it up with one thing, and that is I'm going to share with you what I think is the most important trait, the most important characteristic, the most important quality for you to have as you go forward into the next steps in your adventure in life. Now, you're going to hear a lot from a lot of different speakers that are giving graduation speeches here, today or on Saturday and so on, and they're going to be about, you need to follow your passion, right? You need to have a sense of character. These are all terrific things, right? You need to work hard. These are all great things. But I think the most fundamental and most important quality to have that enables all of those other things is curiosity. I think by being engineers, I think you're already inherently curious. Why did you become an engineer? Probably for most of you, maybe all of you, it's because you wanted to know how things worked. You were curious. How does the physical world work? How can I build something to do something? How can I build something to do something even better than what I've seen? You're naturally curious. Don't lose that characteristic. It will help you be a better person because you'll think about how can I be a better person? How can I do more for the other people around me in my life? How can I be better at my job? It'll make you work harder. How can I learn and improve myself? It will make you follow the things you're most interested in, excited about, or passionate about. So I found that of all the things that were important, curiosity was probably the most enduring and helpful trait for me in my journey. I urge you to do and have that for yourself. Again, it's an honor to be here. Thank you again for the Alumni Award. I'm really humbled. It's just wonderful to come full orbit back to the University of Washington, where I actually started my military career, as I've now ended it. But I'm moving on to new adventures too, and hopefully I'll be back around again, not too long. But thanks and congrats again to our graduates.
Thank you, John. That was wonderful. All right, so now it is time to honor the students of the class of 2024. And we have an ANA certificate here for you that in your folio that you can swap out when you get your actual diploma when they send it to you eventually. All right, so we will begin with those students here today who have earned the Doctor of Philosophy with a few words from their faculty advisors and the ceremonial hooding. So follow the directions off on the side. All right, so first is Danny Broyles. Come on up. Just hang out right there. All right, Danny would like to thank his wife, Miara, and sons Caleb and Jacob for their unwavering love, support, and the abundant laughter and joy they bring into his life. Danny's dissertation is Altitude-Constrained, Occlusion-Aware UAV Coverage Planning for Autonomous Wilderness Search and Rescue. His advisor is Professor Emeritus Juris Wagners. Juris?
Well, first of all, let me say that it is somewhat nostalgic to be up here, hooding what I think is my last PhD student after quite a number of years. Danny actually accomplished a number of things while his limited time here. He earned 4 titles, and in German it is Herr Dr. Professor Major. Herr, obviously, he inherited just by accident of birth. Easiest. PhD, the doctor part, that's why we're here. That took a lot of work and commitment. Professor, he is now a professor at the Air Force Academy or Air Force Institute of Technology in Dayton. Okay? And the last one is he's actually the first of many military students that I have had over all of my years who got promoted while under my tenure. So Major Daniel J. Broyles. He is quite familiar for quite a number of the students because to me it's a mystery how he managed to balance all of these things. A successful family life, beautiful wife, kids, and his PhD students under the rubric of 3-year constraint from the Air Force. That's what he had to get his PhD. Those who have participated in academia understand how difficult that is. And then, in parallel to that, he gets promoted to major. Most successful, totally brilliant, and I think that the undergraduates who have had interaction with him know that he is moving on to what really is the driving motivation for Danny, and that's to be a teacher. He cares and has, in the midst of all of the stuff that he had to do to succeed with his goal, and still mentor students. Those who have had contact with him know how important that is. Anyway, I am extremely privileged to welcome Danny to our academic society, to our group. Furthermore, it is also coincidental that I show up here, and of course, one of my ex-master's students is the keynote speaker. Now, that makes you feel old. Thank you.
Paul, are there supposed to, Betsy, are there supposed to be a folio for him? Or? Got the kinks worked out of the system. Now I know what I'm doing. It's like my 6th time being in charge of the graduation. All right, James O'Neill, please come on up. James would like to thank his girlfriend, his family, and his friends for their support as he pursued his PhD. His dissertation is entitled Crashworthiness of Filament-Wound CFRP Origami Tubes. His advisor is Professor Marco Salviato. Marco? There's always a risk of choking.
So it's always a problem when you are a short Italian, you know, with this type of ceremonies, but we managed. So I've known Jimmy for a long time. I was his advisor during his undergraduate capstone, and I was always impressed by his curiosity. At the time, we worked on composites, and he was always asking questions. He always wanted to know more. So it didn't come as a surprise that he decided to do a PhD. So I had the pleasure to co-advise him with my esteemed colleague, J.K. Yang, who works in origami structures. I work in composites. So it was the perfect marriage. Let me tell you why. So the problem that Jimmy decided to tackle is a very challenging problem. He wanted to develop crash-absorbing structures that are more efficient and safe. So you can think of, the bumper of your car. You can think about the landing systems that are used in space vehicles. You want those structures to be able to absorb energy without distributing a lot of stress to the people inside the vehicle. So the natural choice is typically to go for composites. Why is that? Because composites are much lighter than steel, and they're much stronger than the strongest metal. The problem with composites, actually, there are two. The first problem is that it's very difficult to manufacture these structures very efficiently and at a low cost. This is problem number one. Problem number two is that typically when you are able to build these structures, they actually fail catastrophically, which is not exactly what you want to have. You want to have a gradual deformation that absorbs a lot of energy. So Jimmy came up with a very interesting approach. So he said, I'm going to solve the manufacturing issue by using filament winding, which is a very established technique which enables you to produce large numbers of parts at very low cost. And then he said, I'm going to use origami to make the structure deform gradually. He did a hell of a lot of experiments, a hell of a lot of simulations, and he made it work. So he provided outstanding results, and I'm pretty confident that his technology is going to be a game changer. Thank you.
Next, we have Pablo Trefs Posada. Come on up. Pablo would like to thank everyone who supported him on his journey to graduation, especially his parents, Christian and Anna. His dissertation is entitled Direct Numerical Simulation of Droplet-Laden Homogeneous Shear Turbulence and a Mass-Conserving Method for Gas-Liquid Flows with Phase Change. His advisor is Professor Antonino Ferrante. Antonino?
Well, good evening, everyone. The honor is all mine to give Pablo this degree at the department. It's been a very humbling experience working with him for many years. We have both had perseverance and patience and just a very slow growth throughout the years. And one of the challenging and most satisfying things for me as an advisor is to see engineers growing into scientists. And so Pablo, in his PhD thesis, you have heard the title, it's pretty long. So he has achieved 3 main contributions in advancing fluid mechanics. He has done theoretical contributions to understand the equations governing the interactions of droplets with turbulence. And this occurs in spray combustion devices and engines. Then he has developed the numerical methodology for accurately capturing the motion of these 3-dimensional droplets moving in the turbulent flows. And on top of that, he has also developed the methodology to study their vaporization. And third, by performing all these simulations on supercomputers, he has explained the physical mechanisms. And so all of that has been published in a very extensive journal, in the top journal of fluid mechanics, over 50 pages. And so this is an achievement that very few fluid mechanicians who finish their PhD are able to achieve. So I'm very proud of all he has done, and I will miss him tremendously as he will go on in his career. Thank you.
Okay, next, Mengyun Wang, please come up. Mengyun would like to thank her family and friends for their love and support. Her dissertation is entitled Optimal Control for Electrically Propelled Aircraft and Urban Air Mobility Network. Her advisor is Professor Mehran Misbahi.
All right. Good afternoon. Why are you guys so quiet? Okay, this is the last PhD. All right. So I have few words, but not like I have to write it down because if I go off script, I get fired very quickly. So Mengyun Wang's dissertation addresses energy-efficient modern air transportation, and in particular, electrification and network-level optimization for systems such as urban air mobility. In such systems, you can imagine these highly automated aircraft transport cargo and passengers within the urban and suburban centers at low altitudes. But you really need a safe, low-emission, and low-noise operation for these systems. Mengyun work is at the forefront of research on how techniques from optimal control, optimization, and networks can effectively be used to address questions such as when charging the battery in flight is a good idea, how to determine dynamic scheduling and routing for air mobility networks, and how to optimize the location and capacity of vertiports in cities like Anaheim, all pursued in mathematically rigorous way. Menyuen's work is probably the first PhD dissertation in our department that lays the foundation for future work on electrification and urban air mobility, rooted in control theory and optimization. Menyuen pursued all this work in close collaboration with our Boeing colleagues, partially during the pandemic, facing a number of social and personal challenges. I vividly remember how impressed our Boeing colleagues were with our regular online meetings, with Menyuen always ready to lead the discussion. Well done, Dr. Wang. I'm proud of your accomplishments and congratulations.
All right, congratulations to our 2024 PhDs. And if we can get all four of you back up on the stage, I want to do a photo with the four of you. Photographers in the front. Okay, and now I will invite Professor Eric Herlin to take the mic to announce our graduates.
All right, hello everyone. Students, we would like you to stand one row at a time and in the aisle. Come up to the stage on my right. We'll wait to call your names until everyone's lined up. Come up when your name is called, hand me your card, and walk across the stage to get your certificate from Professor Morganson. We'll read a name and a statement for each student. You can applaud after the statement. Taking the long way, apparently. All right, we'll start with the Master of Science. Nitin Aditila. Nitin would like to thank his family, friends, and all his mentors. Jabair Abdullah Rafiul Alam. Rafi is feeling supersonic now. Colin Baxter. Colin is grateful to have gotten to work with all of the amazing people he met over the past 2 years and feels humbled to soon call himself a University of Washington alumnus. Ganesh Bomavaram. Ganesh would like to thank Professor Owen Williams for being his advisor and giving an opportunity to conduct experiments in Kirsten Wind Tunnel. Nicholas Castriota. Nicholas would like to thank his family and friends for their support and the great faculty for their insight. Richard Egbert. Richard would like to thank Professors Dana DeBeery and Carl Nolan for their exceptional mentorship. Ali Hamza. Ali would like to thank all the people he has met at UW and their memories made together. Josh Holder. Josh would like to thank Dr. Misbahi and all the members of the RAIN Lab. Andrew Jacob. Andrew would like to thank his friends, family, and advisors for their support. Jonathan Long. Jonathan would like to thank his family for being awesome. Jihao Liu. Jihao Liu would like to thank his mother for the unconditional support of his academic career. Shane Murray. Shane would like to thank all the students in Zap Lab for helping him graduate on time. Matthew Nuss. Matthew has learned that everything is just an approximation. Sumuk Sai Padata. Sumuk looks forward to applying his knowledge and skills to make a positive impact on the world. Seth Reed. Seth is glad he made it this far. He would like to thank his family and those that stuck by his side to support him the last 2 years since he started his master's degree. Upon graduating, Seth will be bringing his talent and expertise to Southern Utah to design control systems for autonomous aircraft, which aims to provide surveillance and support to wildfire crews. Daniel Roberts. Danny would like to thank all his graduate and undergraduate professors, as well as PhD candidate Peter Thoreau, for shaping how he views the physical world and giving him the tools to harness his passion for problem solving. Barrett Siltabo. Barrett would like to thank her sister, Laika, for her unconditional support. Alex Zebart. Alex would like to thank his family and girlfriend Samantha for their incredible support and encouragement throughout his academic and professional career. We will now recognize students for receiving a Master of Aerospace Engineering. Orkita An. Orkita would like to thank his mom and girlfriend for all the love and support along the journey. David James Devine. David Devine, a universe of atoms, an atom in the universe. Nicholas Goldoyan. Nicholas extends his heartfelt gratitude to his friends, family, and most importantly, his fiancée Audrey for their unwavering support throughout this transformative journey. Wesley Hauser. Wesley would like to thank his family and friends who have supported him and made sacrifices to help him achieve this degree. Nathan Lipschutz. Maybe now I can make the medium bucks. Karina Luna Santos. Karina would like to thank family, friends, and classmates for all their support throughout her academic journey towards a master's in aerospace engineering. Peter Albert Madaxon. Albert feels honored to be able to celebrate with family, friends, classmates, faculty, and in the loving memory of Albert's parents who aren't here with us today. Special shout out to his wife Allison and family for their support throughout the journey. Wouldn't have done it without their support. Dedicating this achievement to his daughter, Eliana, who will be born this month. Congratulations. Rio Onowe. Rio would like to thank his friends for getting him through the late night studies, his ever-energetic dog Mochi for forcefully pulling him out for refreshing walks, and his beautiful wife for the mouth-watering home-cooked meals, but more importantly, believing in him when he doubted himself. Amy Pack. Amy would like to thank her family for their support throughout her education to achieve success in her degree and early career. Timothy William Proby. Tim would like to thank his wife Sarah, his son Adrian, and the rest of his family for supporting his pursuit of this master's. Adam Stahlbaum. I'd like to thank my friends, family, and classmates for their support and patience. Grant Suji. Grant would like to thank his family for supporting and motivating him to complete this degree. Zayn Yosef. Zayn would like to thank his loving fiancée, Nikki, for all of her support during the MEA program. Chi Cheng Zhang. Chi Cheng would like to thank his family for their support. Taryn Zhao. Taryn would like to thank her family for their patience and endless support. So we now recognize the Bachelors of Aerospace Engineering degrees. Osvaldo Aldaz. Osvaldo would like to thank everyone who's been part of this journey, no matter how stressful it got. You all have made the last 4 years the best 4 years. William Grayson Shelfont Atwell. Grayson would like to thank the friends he made along the way and Rev for keeping us going. Carol Baker. Carol would like to thank his family and friends that helped drive him to succeed throughout this time at UW. Akash Bansal. Akash would like to thank the Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics for a stellar educational experience. Yafet Bedru. Yafet would like to thank his family, friends, and the National Society of Black Engineers for all their support. Leon Bedencourt. Leon would like to thank all the ANA faculty and staff for providing him with all the resources he needed to succeed and receive a world-class education. Youngjing Marvin Bach. Marvin would like to thank his parents, Jae Young Bach and Suna Kim, for their support, which has enabled him to start his journey to become an aerospace engineer. Christopher James Brown. Christopher Brown would like to thank God and the entire AA family at UW for helping him persevere through this challenging but rewarding program. Connor Richard Cassidy. Connor would like to thank his family and especially his parents for continuing to support and encourage him throughout his time at UW. Raul A. Castro. Raul would like to thank his family for their never-ending support throughout his undergraduate career at UW. Ronnie Chen. Ronnie would like to thank his parents for letting him come to UW and is super grateful for the connections he's made in his 4-year journey and hopes to maintain them for many years to come. Nathan Kalak Cheng. Nathan would like to thank his family, who have been his foundation for his whole life and made this possible. Nate Chilcott. Nate would like to thank his parents, Katie and Skip, for their endless support throughout his college experience, and as always, go Dogs. Arthur Chong. Arthur has learned that while communication is valuable, true problem solving often requires collaborative effort. Felicity Kundiv. Felicity has learned success favors those who persist and keep moving forward, regardless of challenges. Jason Matthew Chandra Wijaya. Jason extends his heartfelt gratitude to his parents, family, faculty, staff, friends, and the group study MGH 286, Brain Trust Thrust, USAC, the Boeing Regional Aircraft Capstone team and mentors, and all others who have supported him on his journey to this wonderful moment. Adam Delbo. Adam would like to thank Sarah Delbo for her love, patience, support, and all the other things she does for him. Elliot and Isabel Delbo for usually letting their dad get his schoolwork done. Michelle Wiley for always encouraging him in everything he does. And Doug Gator, whose flexibility and friendship helped keep him sane as working parent and student. Salome Demerge. Salome is grateful for the support of her professors, friends, and family throughout these 4 years and is especially thankful to her parents who made it all possible. Ethan Dewar. Ethan would like to thank his parents and Desmos graphing calculator for making this possible. Mark Raiden Egbert. Raiden would like to thank his family, friends, classmates, advisors, and the faculty who supported him through his undergraduate education. Peter Funston. Peter would like to thank his family and friends. He knows that he did not do this alone and appreciates everything they have done for him. Patrick Galvin. Patrick would like to thank his friends, family, and professors for their unwavering support. George Garcia. George would like to thank his parents for supporting him throughout his academic journey, whether it be staying up all night to help or studying with trips out of state. He would not be here without their support. Thomas Ulysses Hartridge George. Thomas would like to thank his family, friends, mentors, and the UWAA community for their support in achieving his degree. Caden Greenup. Caden would like to thank his family and friends for supporting him through his academic journey. Caleb Hadland. Caleb Hadland would like to thank his family and friends for helping him to graduate today. Salvador Hernandez. Salvador extends heartfelt gratitude to their family, professor, and peers for their unwavering support and inspiration throughout his journey. Matt Howard. Matt would like to thank all his friends and family that have been so supportive throughout college. Aaron Shu. Aaron would like to thank Mom and Dad for the unconditional support they've given throughout his whole academic journey. Sydney Claire Jackson. Sydney would like to thank everyone who has supported her throughout the past 4 years, including her family, friends, UW professors, TAs, and the LMCO Capstone team. Matthew Keene. Matthew would like to thank his family, all the friends made along the way who shared in the struggle, and his amazing advisors and professors at Green River College who helped him get here. Kyle Clem. Kyle would like to thank his family, friends, teachers, and everyone who supported him in getting here today. Nolan Clissus. Nolan would like to thank his parents and family for giving him the motivation and guidance to pursue and achieve his goals, and his loving wife, Sherry, for the love and support to attend and succeed at UW. Stop done. Wasn't quite done. Erica Coleman and Mickey Smock were the highlights of the AA faculty. Haley Kuster, per aspera at Astro. Kenneth Kewen. Kenneth would like to thank all his friends and family that got him to this point. Peter Lang. Peter would like to thank his family and friends. Lily Laplace. Lily would like to thank Celeste, Maman Papa, Grandma Susie, Grandpa George, Mammy Paulette, and Papi Serge for their encouragement every step of the way to become an aerospace engineer. Kai Aslet Laslet Vigil. Kai would like to thank his parents and grandparents for making his journey through higher education possible. Fong Li.
Fong would like to thank all faculty members and classmates for the past 2 years for creating such a fun learning experience. She would also like to thank all her mentors from the Autonomous Control Lab for guiding her through her academic career, and her peers in the LMCO capstone for working hard to complete our project. Sydney Louise Lenneman. Sydney would like to thank her family and friends for supporting her throughout her time at University of Washington. Lucas Lesenkoff. Lucas would like to thank his family, friends, professors, and his Chegg subscription for supporting him over the years. Also, rockets are cool. Marvin Lin. Marvin would like to thank his parents, sister, friends, and Red Bull. Daniel Watts Lord. Daniel has learned not to sell himself short and to grasp every opportunity that comes his way. Evelyn Faith Madewell. Evelyn would like to thank her family for always standing with her, and especially acknowledges Dr. Wagner's and Dr. Broyles, who will forever be her warmest memory of her time at UW. Kevin Major. Kevin would like to thank his parents, Brian and Kath, for always being there to support him. Without them, he would never have been able to come this far and would not be here today. Anthony McDaniel. Anthony would like to thank his family for always pushing him to be his best self. Ian Mitani, sorry. Ian would like to thank the kind-hearted people of Mansfield for guiding and preparing him for the University of Washington. Daniel Molidor. Daniel has learned that there's no better time than now to reinvent oneself and do a career change. Caitlin Moen. Caitlin would like to thank her family and friends for supporting her throughout her college career, and her cohort for making every class memorable and fun. Julius Nerig. Julius would like to thank his parents, friends, and professors for supporting and motivating him through the past 4 years. Emmy Peterson. Emmy wants everyone to know she'll be a breadwinner, not a bread maker. Natalie Peterson. Natalie is thankful for all her friends and experience she made during her time at UW and is excited for the next chapter in her life. Natalie would also like to thank God and her family for their love and support. David Ramirez Vadillo. David would like to share a thought. An aerospace engineer is crazy enough to blast you into space, yet smart enough to get you back. Miles Roan. Miles would like to thank everyone for their support and care. Alexandra Surprise. As Ali stands at the brink of a new chapter post-graduation, she reflects on a journey marked by perseverance and growth, a journey that would not have been possible without the unwavering encouragement of her family, mentors, and peers. As she embarks on the next leg of her journey, she does so with optimism, passion, and vitality. Giovanni Sykes. Giovanni had an incredible experience at UW A&A, with the definite highlight being his experience leading and working with the Design Build Fly. Andrew Truong. Andrew would like to thank the faculties and his classmates of the AA department for a memorable experience at UW. Linus Unruh. Linus would like to thank his friends and family for the continuous and at times reluctant support. William Aaron Watts. Aaron would like to thank his mom and dad, Candy and Brian, for teaching him how far hard work can take you. Winston Wilhere. Winston would like to thank his family for their support. Alessandra Vucinovic. Ali would like to thank her family for their love and support and her friends for making Seattle home the past 4 years. Maya Marie Willebrand. Maya would like to thank her family and friends for always supporting her during her time at UW. Josephine Wilson. Josephine would like to thank her family and friends, in particular her grandfather George, for their support during her journey at the University of Washington. Anderson Wren. Anderson would like to thank Professor Leung, Professor Schmuck, and Professor Tagvai for their contributions towards Anderson's pursuit of controls. Alexander Zhang. Alexander would like to thank the AA cohort for a great experience learning in class together.
Okay, thank you, Professor Herlin, and congratulations to all of our outstanding graduates this year. In closing, I'd like to express our collective thanks. First of all, thank you to the staff and student volunteers who made today's event possible. Thank you to our faculty for your tireless efforts as teachers and mentors. Thank you to the families and friends here with us today. Your patience and support over the years was invaluable to these fine students as they worked toward this great achievement. Thank you to the class of 2024. It has been a privilege to teach you in the classrooms and to work with you in the labs. You leave our department with a strong foundation as you build your careers in industry, government, and academia. You are ready to compete in the national and international arena in aerospace. And now, graduates, please stand. You may now move your tassels from right to left. It is my honor to present the William E. Boeing Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics, class of 2024. We applaud you all. You are now cleared for takeoff. All right. And as just a moment here, we're getting the recessional queued up. It's a manual process. So I just want to make sure and invite you to get a treat at the tables outside as you leave. So there are a couple boxes out there. And there we go. You may now leave. Congratulations, everyone.
Through the sky.